Starting tomorrow, Ukrainian refugees will have to undergo a new process to enter the U.S. I'm Emil Kalla in for Vanessa. Thank you so much for joining us on our streaming platform this evening. This is part of the Biden administration's commitment to bring in 100,000 Ukrainians fleeing the war with Russia. And tonight we're hearing from a family who did just that. ABC 10 News reporter Neil Watson tells us more about their story.
Mimi, good evening. The Kim family arrived in San Diego a little over a week ago after a harrowing journey from Ukraine. They're now resettling here in Point Loma. The mom saying they're grateful they're able to feel safe again. Sunday, the Kim family spent the morning getting haircuts. The children preparing for their first day of school in the U.S. Their mom, Anastasia, says it's the first sense of normalcy they've had in a while.
It's very good to be here. It's like a miracle, really.
Anastasia says they were living in Kyiv when Russian military invaded Ukraine. Their home quickly became a war zone.
It was very uncomfortable and uncalm in Kyiv. It's not maybe a missile, but something was dropped into the door, into the house in front of my building where we lived.
Anastasia and her husband Paul decided to pack up and flee with their 3 children to safety. They spent weeks traveling through Europe when they finally reached the U.S.-Mexico border. That's when Joel Tubal says he got a call asking to host the family.
We would have liked to help anybody, but a family would be great. So we weren't going to turn him away.
Tubal says it was during a conversation with Paul that he realized just how much the help meant to them.
And he said, This is the first time in weeks that I feel calm. It brings you down to earth. Very simple. People need simple things.
Anastasia and her husband are now focused on obtaining work permits.
We need to find a job, and after we find any job, we can rent some apartment and we can move.
But she says she's grateful for Joel's kindness as they work to rebuild.
Joel, he's a very helpful person. He knows many people and he connects us with some of them. So they are very, very helpful.
Anastasia says they're not sure yet if they'll return to Ukraine immediately after the war is over. In Point Loma, Neil Watson, ABC 10 News.
And as we mentioned, starting tomorrow, a new program to help Ukrainian refugees begins in the U.S. The Biden administration's Uniting for Ukraine aims to be a streamlined process for Ukrainian citizens to apply for humanitarian parole here in the U.S. Eligible Ukrainians must already have a sponsor here. Once approved, they will then be authorized to travel to the U.S. and be considered for humanitarian parole for up to 2 years on a case-by-case basis. Once paroled, they will be eligible for work authorization in the U.S. Now to the war in Ukraine. A Ukrainian official says both the U.S. Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense are meeting with Ukrainian President Zelensky. The U.S. has still not confirmed that meeting, which was announced yesterday. And as ABC's Alex Perche reports, Zelensky says he's still open to talks with Russia.
Ukraine began Orthodox Easter Sunday under a curfew as Russia's bombardment of the country continues. On Saturday, the port city of Odessa was hit with 6 cruise missiles. At least 8 people killed, including a 3-month-old infant. Another 18 people were wounded. The siege at that massive steel plant in Mariupol continues. The United Nations calling for an immediate halt to the fighting there to allow trapped civilians to leave safely. Last week, President Joe Biden announced another $800 million in military aid to Ukraine, and the U.S. Treasury Department is sending $500 million to fund Ukraine's government.
As long as we're getting more than we burn every day, we are capable of winning, and we're capable of kicking Russians out, because that's the way how to end this war.
Zelensky, during a rare press conference on Saturday, said U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken and Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin will meet with him in Kyiv on Sunday, though U.S. officials have yet to confirm the visit.
It's a really, really symbolical and powerful signal to Russia that Ukraine will not be left alone with this war.
It's speculated the 3 would discuss further military aid.
Are you pleased with the equipment that you are getting, not only for the short term, but for the long term if this conflict drags on?
We are very grateful to the big partisan support which we are receiving.
Zelensky is still leaving the door open for negotiations with Vladimir Putin.
Any healthy and sane person always chooses diplomatic ways.
Zelensky's comments coming as UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres prepares to head to Moscow, where he'll meet with Putin to discuss a possible peace deal after repeatedly calling for a ceasefire. Alex Perche, ABC News, Washington.
And this weekend, in added Russian sanctions, President Biden issued a ban on all Russian ships from entering any U.S. ports. Yesterday, in a tweet, Biden said that means no ship that sails under the Russian flag or that is owned or operated by a Russian interest will be allowed to dock in a United States port or access our shores. None. And you can stay on top of the latest news with the ABC 10 News mobile app. It is free in the App Store and on Google Play. Nearly a dozen wildfires are raging across parts of the Southwest. Wildfires in the U.S. are nearly double what they were at this time last year. As ABC's Zoreen Shah reports, tens of thousands of acres are burning and taking some homes with them.
New Mexico's governor declaring a state of emergency across several large counties.
We need people to leave areas that have fire warnings. You need to leave. It's going to be a tough summer. Our risk season is incredibly and dangerously early.
The Calf Canyon fire merging with the Hermit Peaks fire, burning more than 54,000 acres combined.
We're basically focused on notifications of people out in front of this thing, communities, getting them ready to potentially evacuate, and that's pretty much the main operation.
A drop in temperatures and wind speeds giving more favorable conditions to the firefighting effort. Also in New Mexico, over 48,000 acres burned in the Cooks Peak fire. Businesses are doing what they can to help those working on the front lines.
We went ahead and made the decision to open and trying to help serve the firefighters and the first responders.
In Flagstaff, Arizona, the tunnel fire has burned more than 21,000 acres in the past week. Some residents losing everything.
To see everything burned is just very traumatic.
In Colorado, officials believe the Teller County fire started when a tree fell on a power line.
We're not fighting a fire that's coming at anymore. We're fighting a fire that begins inside or in the interior area of a subdivision.
Authorities expressing concern about the increase in fires. The Marshall Fire destroyed more than 1,000 homes in Colorado late last year.
They have gotten progressively bigger, progressively worse, progressively more just in the last several years.
So far this year, almost 1 million acres have burned in wildfires across the country, nearly twice as many as at the same point in 2021. Zoreen Shah, ABC News.
And you're taking a live look outside. ABC 10 News meteorologist Leah Pizzetti is joining us now. And we've had some warm weather here, and you're telling us earlier that that's expected to linger on for a little bit longer.
Yeah, exactly, Mimi. So we have warm conditions right now, and they're going to continue into the next couple of days. So we can see, you see those colors representing those warmer colors, warmer temperatures. And as we progress through, it's going to shift. So we do see a trough digging in. It's going to help bring cooler temperatures, but we're going to stay dry, and we are going to stay on the warmer side for just a couple more days. So temperatures right now, you see 60s and 70s for the most part. Del Mar has started to cool down at 69 degrees right now, but definitely was warm today. This evening, it's going to be pretty pleasant. Coastal areas down to the 60s for most of the evening. Inland areas hanging on to those 70s until 8 p.m. But tomorrow, we're seeing temperatures warming up. We're talking 70s even into the 80s for our coastal areas, 80s into the 90s for our inland valleys, 70s for our mountains, 90s in our deserts. So yeah, definitely going to see these warmer conditions for another day or so. But then, like I said, we will see that cooling coming. No rain in the forecast though, but I'll break all that down in your Super 7-day forecast coming up.
Thank you so much, Leah. And the top Republican in the House wrapped up a tumultuous week with a message of party unity. Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy was at the state GOP conference in LA. He was in damage control mode after recordings emerged where McCarthy said he planned to urge then-President Trump to resign following the January 6th insurrection. McCarthy told fellow Republicans to stay the course.
Don't let the things that don't matter get in our way. Do not let the media divide us. Do not let them get off topic. They can talk about everything they want to talk about, but we know what America wants.
Friday, former President Trump told the Wall Street Journal that although he was not happy about McCarthy's comments on the recording, their relationship was unharmed. A local caravan heading to Sacramento today has one tragic thing in common, the cause that's bringing them and hundreds of others to the state capitol. Plus, the new interactive wall honoring the military unveiled today at Welcome back. Dozens of San Diego crime victims are at the state capitol today demanding change. ABC 10 News reporter Nate Holmes explains how they hope to share their stories and call for policies to end crime cycles.
It was great to know I'm not alone in this. We all have different traumas and we all can relate to each other. So.
Holding a photo of her with her boyfriend, this survivor, who only wanted to be identified as Sarah, shares how she was a victim of gun violence in 2020. She was shot multiple times and survived. But that wasn't the case for her other half. She says it's been a long road to recovery, physically and emotionally.
It varies day by day. You know, we get shot, we leave the hospital, and they don't really prepare us for what's to come next. You know, I didn't know of any support groups until I met them. So it's been really hard, honestly.
Reginald Washington, founder of Project Aware Enterprises, says as a victim of gun violence, he uses his trauma to help others.
Today, I mentor kids through probation, work with the San Diego County Office of Education and the County of San Diego as a mentorship program, and working with those young kids who have been impacted by gangs and gang violence.
Early Sunday morning, dozens of San Diego survivors boarded this large bus. They will join 700 other crime victims and their families at the state capitol this week. The group is urging lawmakers to support crime victims through policies, programs, and compensation.
Resources are limited, and our goal is to take these families so they can share their story and see, so legislation could see that there needs to be advocacy for victims and compensation for them.
The trip is part of the 9th annual Survivors Speak California Conference, the largest annual gathering of crime victims in the state.
This conference is about healing. And there's different workshops, there's different ways for them to heal, and a lot of these people don't have resources.
Some type of peace and how to deal with my PTSD and my anxiety, and we're amongst other people that have been through it as well, so together we're going to heal.
And the group is asking lawmakers to consider things like critical services, a victims' compensation fund, grants for cities for public health, and crime prevention. And there are some changes coming to the big screen at AMC movie theaters. The chain is installing high-tech laser projectors into 3,500 of its theaters over the next few years. Experts say laser-based systems create brighter images and more contrast than the ones made by old-school projectors. The CEO of AMC says the goal is to, quote, keep an eye to the future of moviegoing. The installation process is expected to start within the next few months and could be complete by late 2026. And in home entertainment, PlayStation may start putting ads in its games. According to an insider report, Sony is working to bring ads to the free-to-play games on the system. It follows news last week that Microsoft is also pursuing that concept. Microsoft says its goal is to generate revenue for developments and does not plan to take a cut. Sony hasn't yet decided if it would take a portion of ad revenue, but it is considering having developers and publishers pay for consumer data. Both Sony and Microsoft's in-game ads are expected to launch by the end of the year. The streets of Brazil were filled with music and dancing last night on the last day of the Carnival parades. The country's top samba schools performed in Rio de Janeiro in front of huge crowds. Some performers carried pictures of Barack Obama, Nelson Mandela, and even Beyoncé as they honored famous people of color. The carnival was supposed to begin in February, but authorities did delay it due to another surge in COVID cases. And the Padres unveiled their new military wall of honor at today's game. The wall will consist of 2 interactive screens. Using those, fans can view information and content on former players and other Major League Baseball players who served in the military. The wall of honor is located in the right field concourse. Fans will also be able to record and send personalized messages to active duty military members and various military bases in a dedicated recording booth located within that area.
Now, the ABC 10 News Pinpoint Weather Super 7-Day Forecast.
And ABC 10 News Pinpoint meteorologist Leah Pizzetti is joining us now. It was a hot one today, and as Leah's told us, it is not cooling down just yet, but we will see some relief soon.
Yeah, not only is it not cooling down yet, it's actually going to be getting even warmer. The next couple of days, we're going to continue to see these warm temperatures. For our coastal areas, for our inland areas, we're actually going to be peaking tomorrow. Then we'll start a little bit of a cool down. But yeah, tomorrow we're definitely going to continue to see the heat. Live look from our Chula Vista sky camera right now. We see sun is starting to set, but clear blue sky, not a cloud on the horizon. We're not expecting any marine layer influence tonight. Today we saw warm temperatures, upper 70s along our coast. San Diego hit 79 degrees, 10 degrees warmer than that seasonal norm. Not quite breaking that record of 83 degrees for this date. Oceanside though did break a record. Look at that, 84 degrees today. Previous record of 82 degrees, so we surpassed that. Typically upper 60s, so much warmer than that seasonal norm. Ramona, 85 degrees, nice and warm today as well. Diving into our super 7-day forecast, these warm temperatures, like I said, are going to continue into tomorrow. So for our coastal areas, tomorrow is the warmest day of the week. We'll be in the lower 80s. Along our coast, like I said, no marine layer influence, so we'll see mostly sunny skies through the day. 80s by the time we're in the late morning hours, so it'll be warm yet again tomorrow. Then we start that cool down. So heading into Tuesday, we're back to the mid 70s. Wednesday, we're sitting right around 70 degrees. Then by Thursday, we're actually dropping cooler than normal. We're going to be in the 60s, and we're going to be staying in the 60s into next weekend. Inland areas, same thing. Tomorrow is the warmest day of the week. We'll be in those 80s pretty early on in the day, so it's going to be another warm day tomorrow. Spending most of the day in the 80s, lots of sunshine in store. This is all thanks to a Santa Ana wind pattern. Winds are not very strong with this system right now, but this pattern, the shift, is why we're seeing these warm temperatures. So we're going to see those breezy conditions continuing into Monday, Tuesday, and then those winds are going to shift. That's going to help cool down those temperatures. So inland areas back to the 70s, and then mountains, look at that. Monday, Tuesday, both warm. Then we start that cool down to the 60s. Desert's actually going to be peaking Tuesday with the upper 90s. Then we start that cool down. We're back to the 80s by the end of the week, 90s by next weekend. So yeah.